I think it was ESL One Thailand like 3 years ago, and that was the position 1, position 5 combo that was really just running amok because you were able to just spam out those Whirling Axes in the lane, and it's a pretty decent response to the likes of a Tide Hunter, who already is, you know, kind of hard to oppress in the lane, but something like a Troll Warlord staying at range, or just being able to consistently throw out those axes, it makes life a whole lot more challenging for the Tide.
Yeah, 100%. And we saw a Tide struggle in game number 1, so we'll see if we'll see a second one here. So, PSG Quest, they're going for the little walk around. This is something they've been seeing a lot more from teams recently, just trying to catch people out who are trying to not contest the bounty rune as early.
Yeah. 30 seconds to
Get a lot of these deep wards
They've
down
got
as well.
such good level 1, that's the thing.
They are sitting in good positions here, though, are the Riyadh Chefs. So Menu is going to be able to break this smoke at least, and Kaori will get spotted, thanks to the little watcher.
Get the hell out of there. Can't be giving up a kill for free.
Double wards on top of each other. We don't want to have the game start like game number 1. If you're Riyadh Chefs, just don't get first blooded. I think that's step number 1. Try not to
Before
get
the
first
horn. Don't get first blooded. Hopefully Kratos is not going to be in that sort of situation. I mean, looks like he will be able to just walk his way towards the lane. Not needing to make the TP happen. So he should be A-okay.
Looks like Quest, they really want to try and put pressure on him. They see him with a ward. They know that he's here. Oh, Kratos. He only has one set of axes. He's going to try and TP away to the damage. Yes, they do. Now he's got no TP for the lane, Matt. Oh, no.
Not the 30-second walk of shame.
This is...
well, we calling it, or what's going on here?
I'm ready to go take a break till our next series. I don't know if the Riyadh Chefs are that willing, but... Yeah, that's a heartbreaker, that one. That is a big heartbreaker.
I mean, it's so hard to expect a ward like that, and it's so hard to expect that you would still keep 3 people down there. Like, we know they're incredibly dangerous, and they do end up getting the D ward off with Menu, but you got to respect the fact that they were making that sort of play, considering you knew the path that they made, you knew that they were smoked. They were probably going for some sort of kill, and that's another death in that lane. This is what I'm talking about, right? You got to have sentry control, because melee heroes just cannot contest into Dazzle.
Yeah, that's rough. It's a rough start, not being able to win out on that sentry battle and getting that that first kill for Noob as well.
Oh no! Has he got his hotkeys unbound or something like that? I don't know.
Maybe you call it at that point. I don't know if anybody caught that, but Attacker cancelled his own TP.
Yeah. I actually had that happen to me a few times. I was playing on Trent's PC at TI, and he doesn't have teleport requires hold/stop. I mean, is his laptop calm down? And he just doesn't have that. So there were like 3 different times that I cancelled my own TP, and I'm like, please, no.
Oh, that's so depressing. Does at least win the sentry battle in the middle lane.
Yep.
So
very important.
The one win, but they are starting to win out a little bit in this bottom side. Kratos obviously still has to come back. Missed, what was it, 2 or 3 waves in that bottom side, but
sentry's gone. I don't think Attacker could go back into this lane anymore.
It is very sad. I'm actually surprised that they didn't put the Keeper of the Light with the Troll Warlord. I thought that would have been a much stronger combination for them, considering that Menu on the Nature's Prophet isn't able to do that much damage to a Tide.
Yep. Monster Kill is just taking constant tower hits as well. He took 5 tower hits. And, well, they're going to say thank you very much and just look to yoink up that free kill.
Yeah. Germinate attack is too hard for them to deal with, and yeah, Monster Kill getting stuck underneath that tower. Now owned me. He got the bugs on him. Does bring Kaori with him, though, so it's a couple of seconds till these abilities are back off cooldown, but I don't think it's going to matter. Own me is just going to go down as well, and TA2000 gets involved in another kill, and I think it's deja vu. I've been in this place before, and unfortunately it's not a good place for the Riyadh Chefs. Maybe they can get something back here by taking down Malik. He's oh so low on the bottom side of the map. Kratos gets it done with the axes. So finally, we're seeing a little bit of respite for the Riyadh Chefs.
Something going back in their favor, but only for a second, as Monster Kill unfortunately ends up going down basically immediately after he TPs back into the lane. A little low on resources, you'd have to say, from TA2000 and Kaori, but with all these kills that they're getting, they're just able to come straight on back to that lane.
Yeah, it's just too many resources going the way of PSG Quest, too many kills going their way, and it really started to snowball super hard. Like mid lane, new level 5 attacker is level 3. He does at least have sentry control of the mid lane for now.
For about 10 seconds, yeah.
Yep, until the sentry does come out from Noob, so he will be able to get at least a full creep wave.
I mean, he needs every little bit that he can. He's 10 last hits behind and 10 denies behind as well.
It's never a good start when you have a Sand King who's really just not able to abuse the hero, because it really does feel like that he doesn't scale as well as a lot of these other kind of melee mid laners. Doesn't really have like any of these auto attack accelerants. You know, things like an Earthshake where they can kind of just accelerate with a bit more of this damage. SK really does rely on being very strong very early with things like a Blink Epicenter and then going to like Kaya Sanj and what have you in the Aghanim Scepter, but
I mean, I think having that and even just having the Keeper of the Light be able to move back towards the triangle and start to, you know, pick up a few stacks for your own team. It's very important as well. Another kill onto Omar. All right, they're doing little things right. Kritos, though, he's taking a lot of creeps. He's looking to try and contest into Malik, and Malik seems like he's going to be content just to wait until his lane partner comes back from the grave, and then they're probably just going to look to get aggressive immediately once more.
Yeah, it really did feel like that Omar was kind of just hoping to die at that point. I think Omar really just wanted to refill to come back into this lane, because they are just trading HP and mana between both of these two lanes, and Malik almost chased down Menu as well. Kritos, though, he's in trouble. The Anchor Smash goes down. They don't get the blind out onto Omar, and they've brought Kaori down here as well. The axes go down, but they're looking for a second. It's Menu that is on the menu, and they take a second. 7-2 right now for PSG Quest. Only 2k ahead, but it feels like they are leaps and bounds ahead of the Riyadh Chefs in this second game.
For sure. I mean, even again, they're getting some decent enough damage into this tower with the siege creep hitting in onto it. Malik still probably a little bit too early for him to tank up too many of these tower hits, especially with the Troll Warlord coming back to the lane. But, yeah. Just across the board, winners on all fronts, PSG Quest.
Oh, mid lane, they've decided to come in onto attacker. They get the dust going in from Noob as well. They will at least get the TP from Menu, but I think that is a TP to their death, and this
Serving
is
himself
too
up.
much damage for PSG Quest to not hand the way of Menu. They're going to try and get the kill on Omar, but he's going to be A-OK because he's got 9-1 charges. Kaori again dominating spree, Matt. If we're giving out MVPs, Kaori's mine.
Yep, he is just incredibly good laner, as well as he just knows how to make these movements. Granted, it's a little easier when you are crushing the lane that hard that you could just leave your position 1 a lot of the time, but it just seems like he knows the right place at the right time. They're even just going to make sure that they maintain that sentry control in the mid lane. Looking to try and to chase for another one onto attacker. They place another sentry ward. Actually, that's an observer named sentry ward behind the tower. He is just...
They
maybe
might
he'll
get a
get
kill on a
something.
Kaori. Not before Noob gets the kill on the Menu, I'd imagine. Oh, it's a lot of damage that goes back in. They want to get this kill here onto the Dazzle. Sidestep there against Own Me, but it's still going to be enough. Menu goes down to the final ticks of the Poison Touch. So they at least get the kill onto the Dazzle. So that's a lot of experience and gold going the way of who was the one that picked that up. It was Menu that got the kill, so probably not the best hero considering Own Me TP'd into that, but...
Yeah, for sure. I mean, they immediately drew on the map as well on Omar, just saying, look, push down this top lane. Make sure that they're losing a lot of this experience on the top-hand side. At least Monster Kill was able to secure the Wisdom Rune for himself, so the team won't be falling quite as far behind, at least in terms of experience, mid lane excluded. But I'm really expecting to see these supports, especially once that level 6 is available, look to try and make a big contribution.
Yeah, I think they're... just waiting on a few more of those.
Oh, he's going to get instantly dewarded as well. It's just misery for this lane for attacker, honestly. Yep. There's nothing that this man can do.
He's just placing sentries galore, but it's just not really going to work out. And now they're going to go in once again onto the Sand King. He does have the Epicenter. He doesn't even have the HP to get it off. And now Monster Kill's in trouble as well. They just leave it for Noob. And this Dazzle's going to have Treads and a Hand of Midas coming at him at 8 minutes into the game with a Bracer. Oh, this game is... yeah, it's rough.
It's a bit yikes. Yeah.
It's very yikes. It is. It's a look away, but it's kind of like, you know, you can't look away because you're like, what's going to happen next, you know? Morbid curiosity.
For sure. There's that Midas. 8.5 minutes. Ugh.
The question is now, it seems like they're putting a lot of emphasis towards this mid lane. Do they just need to try and get some of these kills with these 4 heroes, right? Like, yes, they might be low on the experience scale, but if they bring all of them here with, you know, Own Me now, he's got the RP, like, is this going to be enough for them to try and swing this back in and try and get a little bit of this rubber banding?
They're showing that they're very content to dive attacker, so I think they got to just react to how Quest are playing, like the behavior, you know? Like, see if they can bait another move onto him. You've got Magnus farming relatively close by. The downside is, of course, that ward placed by Cowrie, right? It sees everything. So they just get out of the lanes, go back to the side lanes instead. They're able to secure the bottom lane right now, with Malik being able to secure that one. You've got Tier 2000 playing right next to the Tier 1 tower, because what's going to stop him?
Yeah, it's they just snipe in Kridoz's career as well as he's waiting for parts of his Battle Fury. I think that might be kind of their insurance plan, right? Where it's like they just hope that they can get to the point where this Battle Fury can start to pay off, because they've already lost Tier 1 tower bottom. They're going to try and put some emphasis here on the Malik. But can they kill a Tidehunter? They have 4 heroes here. They're going to RP him.
3 points crack and shell.
Him back in. Gets about half HP. Will turn back around with the Ravage though, and now Kaori comes in. Wants to try and get this kill here on a Kridos. Punches him up into the air. Doesn't have the extra damage. They will turn back around with the stick, so they're going to come in and they will just feed their lives away. So they got a little bit overzealous there. Did the side of PSG Quest. I don't think they have the damage. Yes, they do with the magic burst to be able to take down Malik. So they could have just happily gone away with that, but they wanted to fight.
I mean, Attacker was holding that 1-point Burrow Strike for the longest time. He didn't want that situation where, you know, you Burrow Strike, he immediately Kraken shells it off and runs away. So, yeah, just tickling this Tidehunter, but still just the numbers and the weight of ultimates was way too much for him to be able to withstand.
It was also, you know, very calm from Kridos, holding on to the Berserker's Rage, or the Battle Trance, pardon me. Not having to pop it in an opportune moment, putting himself in a bad spot. But they get the kill onto Malik, and they also get the kill onto Kaori. So that was probably a lot of gold that was going the way of the side of the Riyadh chefs. But they still are well and truly behind. But
they know exactly what Kridos is doing as well. I mean, you just made sure to remove the Watcher, but they have complete understanding of what you're doing. Might pop the Battle Trance.
He's going to do a little bit of damage, but now TA2000 coming in from the side. It's almost an inevitability at this point. They will get the second kill, monster kill. He gets caught out by the Gush as well as the Bugs, and that is going to be a lot of damage going into this squishy little Keeper of the Light. Does have the level 6, but unfortunately for Coddle, level 6 is not an ultimate that's going to be able to save your life here in TA2000. Cool guys don't look at explosions. And that's a triple kill now for the Weaver, who's on a mega kill spree, and this is fast.
I mean, yeah, it's real fast. I mean, they're picking the fact that they have vision inside of this triangle area on the Radiant side, which they do, but you made that pull attempt happen on, like, a quarter HP while you knew that there was a Watcher available and there were people missing on the map. So there are a lot of things, other things that revealed exactly what you were doing at that point in time.
Yeah, it was an opportune time, but you kind of have to take some of these risks, and unfortunately they are just not paying off here for the Riyadh chefs. They've lost all of their Tier 1 towers. Now 12 minutes into the game, they've barely tickled any of the Tier 1s on the side of PSG Quest, so we're looking at another game where this map really starts to close down, and from game number 1 as well, we saw the exact same thing, right? They just got to the point where they're able to do literally anything across the map. They are probably just going to wait for a few more of these item timings though. Noob is getting relatively close to that Aghanim Scepter, and I imagine they're just going to wait on Malik's next item, which is going to be the Shard. And that's basically go time, right? Like, Kaori's got himself a nice little Medallion of Courage. Omar going to be building towards that Aether Lens. Like, the supports have everything they need to keep these fights rolling.
Yeah, for sure. And, well, Manu, he's working towards one of the items of his own. He's gone the Rod of Atos. He actually was going down that route on the Skywrath Mage in the previous game. Much more understandable, but I guess as an int hero, it still provides a decent amount of damage and sustain, but just doesn't feel like he's going to be able to get too much. Like, he's not going to have too many people to play with, you know?
Yeah, it's going to be hard for them to actually try and find some of these avenues to try and get these kills, especially when Attacker was doing his best to try and farm on the opposite side of the map, but he does get found out by PSG Quest. He loses his life, and losing Attacker once again, you can just see the net worth is slowly starting to creep up and up and up. There is basically the position 1 and position 2s are doubling their counterparts across the side of the Riyadh chefs, and now they're going to have a little smoke, so they're going to see what they can find on the top side. It's only Menu that's going to be in the area. Maybe they're hoping to see if they can find Kritos trying to take some of these ancient stacks, but they don't have any stacks available.
They'll
to
be
them.
happy enough to just get the Wisdom Rune. Yeah, they
Oh,
know
well.
that Kritos is coming. Ooh, just went a little bit too early there on Kaori. They actually want to take a full fight. Ultimates at the ready. Or the Riyadh Chefs.
Yeah, they have to be careful. They don't have their Tidehunter around, so that was a nice little blinding light there from Monster Kill. TA2000 has to be very, very careful. Does throw out the time lapse. So they're getting themselves funneled into a small little corner.
Only has Blink Dagger.
It is going to be scary. Massive RP that comes in there as well to be able to keep them stuck in the
Nice
position.
snowball.
And now the snowball will be able to save their lives for a little bit longer. There is no time lapse for the Weaver, so TA2000 stuck in the corner. 2 kills,
Nicely
3
done.
kills though from the Riyadh Chefs. So that was a nice response from them to be able to walk in towards their Wisdom Rune. They get the Wisdom Rune, they get the 3 kills as well. And Own Me finishes off with a nice little RP kill, so you'd love to see that. And now Menu walks in onto Noob. Going to be hard for them to take down this Dazzle. He does have the shallow grave, but I don't think he's going to be able to walk out of this scot-free. They're going to walk in here with Malik. Now they're going to get the Ravage coming down and the Meteor Hammer, but it's not enough to save out Noob. And now Malik is walking into 4 heroes by himself. He's very, very tanky, but I don't think this is really going to be a position you want to try and stay around if you are the Riyadh Chefs. Menu gets picked off on the side, and now they're going to look for a second with Monster Kill being found out and taken down. A long engagement, but a good engagement nonetheless, I'd imagine, for the Riyadh Chefs.
Yeah, nice rotation, specifically from Own Me, right? Waiting until the very last second, making sure that he had that Blink Dagger available. There's no point showing up to a fight like that. Also, Monster Kill, we have to, again, give him props, right? He got the Blinding Light, making sure he was the one to secure the Wisdom Rune, put TA2000 really out of position, and meant that he was the one that got caught out towards the end of it. So, you know, little signs of life coming through from the Riyadh Chefs.
Yeah,
Gotta
they've
say,
definitely
though,
got...
Noob wasn't there for the majority of that time. He was finishing his Aghanim Scepter. He was about 300 gold away when that all began, and you can't really blame them for going for a really ballsy play like that, considering how the start of the game had gone.
Yeah, there was no Malik and there was no Noob, right? Or they've caught out Control Warlord in the top side here, and he just gets leashed up thanks to the Rubik being able to steal the what is it called? Sprout.
The Sprout.
Call it leash for some reason. But
It will,
Kritos
soon enough.
goes down.
TA2000's almost got a DD as well on the top side of the river if he did want to play around with it. Why not, right? He's just so strong right now.
Yeah,
All
it
that
really does
extra
feel like
damage
that
coming
they can kind of just 5-man at this point, right? And what is there to really stop them? You can see Kritos really just kind of has a lot of issues. Oh, nice little Blink RP though, but this is where the Power Rangers come in to the side of PSG Quest. They have the damage to take out TA2000, and now it is all get out of dodge. See if they can get away from PSG Quest. It looks like Owned Me, unfortunately, is going to be stuck here thanks to that anchor in the deep. And they will not be able to get away from the pesky little Tidehunter.
I mean, it's a trade that you take, right? Like, you need to stop TA2000 from continuing to scale. He's incredibly strong right now. That's not going to happen as much anymore once he picks up the Lincoln Sphere. Like, yes, you are still vulnerable to an RP and an Epicenter combination, but you're not going to get stunned afterwards by the Sand King, you know?
Yeah, that's true. You won't have the extra follow-up, right? Is the kind of important part to combo breaker for you.
Do they have anything to break it? I guess Sprout is the only thing.
Or Solar Blind could be potential as well. Unfortunately for Owned Me, went in onto Malik, and there was too many members of PSG Quest around. That was, you know, seeing the God view, probably not the smartest decision, but don't have all the information available to them like we do.
Man, so 4 minutes ago, it was a 34% win probability for the Riyadh Chefs. I am surprised at that. You know, that was before all of that shenanigans had happened. Oh, maybe it was just as it was happening. You know, all that, those kill streaks being claimed, all of that recovery gold. But unfortunately, it wasn't the Troll Warlord that it all went to. So he's only just freshly picked up that Battle Fury. Doesn't have too much in the form of follow-up items after that. Just a Band of Elven Skin.
Yeah, so he's just trying to stave off a lot of this pushing threat that's coming in. Noob goes forward.
The water.
The water comes down onto Kritos. He is going to be locked here. They do get the Ravage as well. Hits onto 2 members, and they've got too much damage for the Riyadh Chefs to deal with. They get the blinding light to miss, unfortunately. And now that is 2 kills going the way of PSG Quest once again. They make it look easy, Matt.
They do indeed. Kaori, just again, right place, right time. Make sure to get a lot of those combinations off together. And he is 5-2 and 16 on the Tusk so far. Another attempt, and they end up getting TA 2000 once more, but the downside is you're not really getting much beyond that, right? You've finally taken a Tier 1 tower, but that's it. You know, they're pressuring your Tier 2 towers. It's about to be that 20-minute mark, and maybe they just go down towards the bottom side, secure Roshan, move towards a Tier 2 on the bottom side. Feels like with all these minus armor items that Quest have at their disposal, they could very easily do so.
They 100-0'd Kritos.
Oh.
That was a beautiful display of stun locking someone, especially something like a Troll Warlord. So Kritos just respawned, TP'd to the Tier 2, instantly died. So yes, Tier 2000 has gone on a little bit of a chain feed right now, but that is nothing in comparison to what Kritos has been, unfortunately, been subjugated to. 2, 6, and 5, not even 100 CS yet at almost the 20-minute mark.
Oof. Who's got more CS than him? Okay, no supports at least. That's a plus.
And attacker. He's been found. Gets away. He's got free though. Yeah, I was gonna say who's close. Yeah, okay. I mean, nobody's really close, but
No bit to travel for Noob, but he can just TP towards that bottom Tier 2 tower if he really wants to. 20 minutes are up, so time for a Dazzle to take the Tormentor. Wonder if he wants to tell his team to just bring all of his couriers to the general vicinity, but it looks like they want to take Roshan instead, and you know what, why not?
yeah, head to Roche. Then, you know, Noob can walk in and do the Tormentor by himself. So
Yep.
this is a 20-minute Roche, so it's not going to be as fast. He's doing it now. So Noob's collated the boys.
There we go, look at the couriers. Look at the courier party over at the Tormentor.
Malik, bring your courier closer. Help! Help!
A little closer.
Alright.
Oh, it's fine.
It's enough.
It'll
Okay.
do. 21-minute rune will be spawning there as well, so I'm sure Noob's just going to stick around for the next little bit.
Yep, Kaori gets the Aghanim shards, so we're going to have the big long boys when it comes
The long
to
boy, we love the long boy.
The ice shards.
Very
So even more annoying to deal with is going to be Kaori now that he's got a blink dagger as well. So it's going to be a rough old day here for the Riyadh Chess, but they do have signs of life. They've got quite a lot of team fight. They've got quite a lot of damage when it comes to their Magnus as well as their Sand King at the moment. But in a full 5v5, I don't know if it's going to be enough to overcome this 8k net worth lead, especially now with TA 2000 having the Aegis and the Lincoln Sphere.
I mean, at least he's got the Aghanim Shard on attacker, right? He's got his level 2 ultimate as well, so the pulses end up doing a decent amount of damage if he's able to just walk around. And right now he's playing a very sacrificial role, just trying to force them back for once. But okay, decent usage. This is pretty nice.
Oh,
Not
no.
quite, though.
Yours wasn't long enough, and Menu again is just going to be looked at by TA 2000, who was able to cut through the trees and be able to catch out that pesky little position 5 and monster kill.
Oh, no.
They got the dust as well. They got the vision. Kaori is absolutely everywhere, and with the long boys, it is all too hard. They're just going to walk in. Omas is going to get the clicks going. Eventually, they'll get the kill here.
Punch.
Onto monster kill.
Miss.
He's full HP.
Yeah, he ate a Lotus.
So he's just buying a lot of time. So
I mean, they were able to secure the Tier 1 tower in all 3 lanes, right? So there's a little bit more space to be able to play around with. And right now, it really does feel like just protecting Kritos for the biggest amount of time. Ended up having to pop the Battle Trance just to take the Tormentor, which means that Keeper of the Light has the recall. Not sure how effective that's going to be, this game in particular.
yeah, it might not be the... Oh! You're lucky, owned me. You didn't catch that one live in 4K. That was a whiffed RP on that one. Blink RP didn't get caught. Malik had the quicker fingers that time around.
Yeah, I mean, never feels good to be in that sort of situation, especially considering he's been pretty solidly up until this point, right? When you're down 9k, when the kill score is this lopsided, 2, 3, and 7 isn't the worst score to be able to have. Like, every single one of these big team fights that Onmi's turned up to, he's turned the tide for his team.
Yeah, definitely. He's been very prominent in being able to turn around a lot of these team fights. So we'll see if
Radiant's bottom tower
he's able to put that into a tier 3 tower defense, or whether or not it is just going to be as lopsided as the score will suggest. It is not as fast
it's
as game
dangerous.
number 1.
It's dangerous going high ground though, right? Like,
Very
you're going
true.
up against a Magnus, blink skewer back, always a factor. Of course, got the blinding light back as well. If you're able to lock them down underneath a tier 3 tower, maybe even get a little bit of that multi-shot going on. But they don't actually have a glyph available, so the case.
It's going to be hard for them. Now they're going to walk in. That is dead in the water, directly on top of the Keeper of the Light. So they will be able to at least deal with the anchor. You can hear Attacker starting to pump fake the ultimate. Sitting in the trees here, so they're waiting for a good opportunity. You really don't want to go on to Malik. There's a full pipe available. TA2000 Lincoln Sphere.
Don't want to go on him either. Oh, a little bit disconnected. Tier 2000 goes out while Malik goes in, but still enough to be able to take that tower.
They're just going to take the tier 3 and be happy with that. I think they've gotten vision of Kridos. They know exactly where the Troll Warlord is here. He's completely disconnected from his team. He's being caught out and he's being killed as well. He knew that the battle trance was only going to delay his demise, and at least he can potentially come back and fight in 40 seconds.
They might not give them 40 seconds, though. Without the Troll Warlord, where's the damage going to come from? It's going to need to be, once again, the perfect RP into Skewer back, into Shockwave, into Epicenter, full Illuminate combination, and it just feels like a little bit too much.
Yeah, it definitely does feel like they need everything to go their way. Kaori's going to go in, he's going to blink up directly onto the Keeper of the Light. Monster Kill's been found out. They do catch him out with the dust as well. Malik goes into the background. It's a big RP, hits onto 2 big cores. But do they have the damage though? It doesn't look like they do. The Ravage, it catches out onto Attacker. He doesn't get the Wombo combo he wants. And Omar's sitting in the back with his own stolen RP that he wants to try and use. It's actually a skewer, but it doesn't matter because the Riyadh chefs are all into the fountain and they are all dead. They at least get the buyback here out of menu with Kridos coming back in. That was a nice save there from Kaori, but it looks like that is going to be the final chapter in this book of this series because PSG Quest are just dunking on the Riyadh chefs.
Yeah, a little bit slower this time around to be able to finish it up, but you saw glimpses coming through, but overall the cohesion coming through from PSG Quest is just on another level.
Yeah, you can really just see the extra bits they've got, and now with the blink and the skewer in direct Kridos, he's going to pop that battle trance, but it's on TA2000.
He doesn't care if he dies.
The Aegis, and they've also got.
Oh, it just expired. Oh,
that was huge. That could have been a pretty interesting death, but that's why you can see Noob had the presence of mind to get the Shallow Grave going out. They wanted to try and get some more done here with Omar in towards the tier 4 towers. He's going to pay with it with his life. So PSG Quest, they haven't finished
looking for another skewer
yet. And now getting caught out once again is Omar and Own Meat. They will just leave their Tusker to be the sacrificial lamb inside of the base.
Right next to a creep wave, so pretty obvious. They instantly look to ping it out, so they're like, get the hell out of here. Even Attacker, he's 25 seconds away from being able to use the Epicenter, so just getting a little bit trigger happy there on the Riyadh Chef's side, but you know, they're still in the game.
Yeah, they wanted to kill. They got that dog in them. So they found out Malik, but they don't have the damage to kill. An interesting fight. I think the Tidehunter connection onto Attacker as he basically blinked in was a big reason why that went as bad as it did. You know, if Malik was able to be a little bit later, maybe we could have seen Attacker just come in with a wombo combo and actually killed the Dazzle. Because I think looking at this team, right, like you need to make sure you kill the Dazzle in these fights because otherwise it's going to get to the point where he's just going to heal everybody up to full. Yeah,
it's kind of ridiculous, you know, and the longer the fights go, the more of that bad juju really starts to come into the equation. Poison Touch as well, right? It's just being more slow, more damage, it just keeps ticking up and up and up, and he's up to level 20 as well, so that Poison Touch DPS is now plus 60. So an extra 112 physical damage per second with all of this minus armor feels incredibly scary to have to go up against.
Yeah, it is synergies on synergies, it seems, at this point. He's getting close to that disgusting Arcane Blink, which
menu might just be waiting for that 28 minutes. Will he go and try and yoink away the Wisdom Rune? He just TP'd back to base, so it is a little bit risky. He's trying to build into a right-click build of his own. Not sure how effective it's going to be, though.
I mean, if you can get to the point where you can scale, then it might work out. So we'll try and go for the Wisdom Rune.
Which one is he going to go for? He hasn't chosen either.
He was half tipping towards the Radiant
see a
one.
monster
Monster
kill.
kill. He is unfortunately dead. There's just too much damage that Noob's able to pump out, and especially if he just gets directly on top of Monster Kill, he's got no way of getting out.
Well, the plus side is, because Troll Warlord was so far behind in XP, that Wisdom Rune ended up giving him a little bit, so that's always nice.
Okay, alright, nice. Still doesn't have that BKB yet, and I think that's probably the last bastion of hope, right? Like, if you don't win the fight with Troll Warlord BKB, then you're really just going to be next item syndrome for the entirety of the game, and
he's not going to have that BKB by the time they take this this lane of racks. You basically just need to give it up. You don't even have a Keeper of the Light to be able to push them back with the Illuminate.
Yeah, and especially with the fact that Noobs is able to completely blink into the tier 4 towers, throw a poison touch onto Owned Me, and then kind of put him out of the fight for like 20 seconds.
Yeah, trying to protect their range racks for now. Owned Me just sitting in the smoke, wait for target to be there for the blink skewer back, but again, they need the damage. Kratos, I'm sure he's saying, just buy me a little bit more time, guys. I'm so close.
He's about 400 gold away. 300 now, so they're getting ever close.
He briefly went in vision here, Kratos, in front of the tower, so he'll be able to yoink away that Wisdom Rune. That's a nice little bonus. Level 15 now on the Nature's Prophet as well.
So he will have time for the BKB. They're not assaulting the base just yet, so PSG Quest will be able to give out that BKB. I don't know if you really want to try and fight outside of your base.
He TP'd back to base 50 gold short. I think you got to just sell the wand. There's a fight that's about to break out.
He's holding on to it. I think the greed may pay off. He's got 30 gold away. Malik is looking for Owned Me here. Doesn't have the rest of his members around, so he's just going to clean up his crit wave on the bottom side. We will have the BKB flying out now for Kratos. Right.
Omi doesn't have a TP as well, so he's a little lucky that they aren't all there. Yeah, see you later, menu. Not a chance that you're going to get out of this one alive, but he's almost been able to his own Aghanim Scepter, so nicely done there.
Yep. 600 gold away from that, so that would be a nice little addition to the team fight prowess of the Riyadh Chefs.
Attacker. He's got his own Ags now, so a little bit of extra stuns coming through. Can be the difference when going up against someone like the Weaver, who, of course, a lot of his survivability does come of his time lapse, and he's going to avoid the Lincolns.
Oh, there was a weird fight that was happening here towards this Radiant Shrine. They almost got caught out to TA 2000. We're going to go directly in towards the snowball here. Attacker wants to start winding up on this epicenter here, but it is just going out onto Kaori. With the Lincolns here, they'll get the kick back there onto Kratos. Nice little shallow grave as well. They're sitting in the back line here is Noob. They want to try and keep this Tuskar alive for as long as they possibly can. They get another
They've delayed long enough for Malik to get here.
It is all too hard for them to try and get these kills, and now Malik's going to go in. Dead in the water, goes directly there onto Owned Me. They haven't used the RP yet. He's pump faking it. It's too hard for him to get close to anyone here, Matt. They're just getting kited. The BKBs don't matter. It's just
and they're
Malik
not getting onto
in
Noob.
front of them, and they just leave TA 2000 to be able to do whatever he wants. They've still got RP, but it doesn't matter. They've got no BKBs, man. It's just all over Red Rover for the Riyadh Chefs. We will see a Ravage that goes down onto Malik. It doesn't connect on the Kratos, but it doesn't matter because they've lost Owned Me, who is such an important puzzle piece for them to have in these team fights.
How many shallow graves did we see in that fight? Just the 2, but it's enough, right? It just means that Kaori survives so much longer than he had any sort of right to, and yeah, they're just going to keep the dive going.
Yep, they found out Monster Kill. Beautiful skewer back there from Omar to be able to get directly onto Kratos. They know that he has no BKB, but he at least gets the battle trance off, so he's going to be able to try and fight for the next couple of seconds. RP goes down onto 3. Do they have the damage? No, they don't, because they've got their shallow graves. Noob is just sitting in the back, skewering people around. Owned Me, he's oh so low on the HP. They want to try and take down this Magnus. TA 2000 is such a thorn in their side. They get rid of Omar in the back, and Noob, he's oh so low, so he's used a lot of his HP to try and get these bad juju procs. Can he keep himself alive with another one of these shallow graves? He's so low, they don't have the damage. He gets healed out. He goes in for the blink and the heal again from Noob for the double kill, and this will be the final nail in the coffin with menu going down. GG is cold, and 32 minutes in, we will see this series be completed. Congratulations to PSG Quest, who, I mean, going into this series, we expected them to win, but they did it in such a clean and concise fashion that if you're Falcons right now who